Hello. Today I wanted to show a more visual, another visual task. I wanted to revisit the way I manage the aspect ratio of the levels, because as you see, there are some levels that are more slim. There are levels that are taller or wider than others. I want the player to be able to resize the window of the game without losing information. And Godot so far handles well the vertical case, but not the horizontal case. So I was checking out some of the options to stretch or to, for example, if you ignore the aspect ratio of the game, you can stretch the window, but obviously it's not so good. And you can keep the width or the height, but in those cases these ugly bands appear. So I wanted to make a more robust system. So I wanted to connect the size changed event of Godot to a custom function that adjust the window of the game. So let me sorry, this okay. Let's check first that this function is called when I resize. Something is not working. Just window. Because sorry, I must uncheck this option. Okay, now we are adjusting the window each time. Okay, now we already do some calculations in the load level function. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. These calculations adjust the camera position depending on the max positions of the elements of the game, but let's remove this old code. Let's remove this also. We have, this variable is not used. Okay. We need a more robust form or way of accessing the size of the level. So we will create min x and max values. Okay. Now we need to update these values each time we load a new level. So we will initialize them. Min level X, let's use some big value. Okay, and each time we create a wall, yeah, the walls are the most exterior. We will update okay, the minf function is gives the minimum of two values of two floating point values. Let me update the maxes. This copy and paste is a bit dangerous, but let me see. Min level X, min level in, max level X. Okay. Now, each time we load the level, we have the min and max positions. I do this like this because although I could streamline a bit this, but I don't know, in the future perhaps we will load the walls in another order, or perhaps the format of the levels will change, so I will not be sure that we scan the level data line by line, so I prefer to be careful with the min and max levels here. Okay, so to adjust the position, we need to adjust the global position of the camera to a new position that will be the center of the level and some distance. No? How we calculate these values? Let me check. The center is the average of the min level X and same with the center for Y. Now the distance will depend on two more variables that are obviously the width, the width and the height of the level. That I can calculate with the difference. +1 because they are discrete coordinates. And the height is the same. Okay, now this is a bit tricky because the sorry, this require a type information. Okay, the distance will depend on the aspect ratio of the level and the windows. So we need those two. Level ratio is width divided by height, and this is a float. And we need the size of the window. This is a function or a value, vector 2e. Okay, vector 2i. Let's use this notation. This notation tells Godot that please infer the type based on the value. In fact, we can use the same here. I think, yeah, and window ratio is size.x over size.y. Let's check for sure, to be sure, the level ratio and the window ratio. Yeah, the window ratio. Why is an integer? We must cast this value as float to ensure that the ratio is a floating point value. Okay. Nice. We have, for different levels, we have surely different ratios. Another thing. In load level, after we update this level, these values, we must call the adjust function, because so we are sure to have the correct values. Yeah, we have. Okay, now the distance will be calculated in two different cases. If, for example, if the level ratio is less than the window ratio, we have the case where the level is taller than the window. So in that case, the distance will be the height. Yeah. Okay. And in the other case, in principle, should be the width, but we'll see that obviously we must scale that distance by some value, because let's try 4, for example. Okay, too much. And we have the same problem than before, because the way Godot maintains the, let's use a lesser multiplier here. Okay, the problem is that in the horizontal case, Godot does not guarantee the ratio. For some reason, I try the keep width option here for the aspect ratio, but it always, perhaps it's a bug of Godot, but it always respects the vertical value and not the horizontal. So I will use the defaults here and simply divide by the window ratio, so it works in the two cases. Nice. Perhaps a bit less will be, yeah, I like it. Okay, it works. Let's load some tall level like this. Okay, perfect. For taller levels, this incidentally is important also for mobile applications, because if the player wants to play in landscape mode, it will be this case, but if the player plays in portrait mode, it will be this one. Okay, this is working, and each time we load a level, let's make the window square. It should adjust. Okay, perfect. Taller levels, wider levels, it's working. Okay. Now, this feature is done, but perhaps in the future, when the game is more complete, I will have several levels around this one, around the current level. So in the future, when there is a kind of overworld made of many levels, we will need to animate the camera to the new position for each level we encounter. So for example, if we solve a level and escape the dungeon here, we will go to another level that will be loaded here, and the camera should animate. So this function should return this value, and we could animate perhaps perhaps we can let's save this value here and create a twin for the camera, and let's interpolate value for initial value. The delta will be the new value. Let's use 1 second, for example. Oh, no, this is 0. No, this is not the function. This is the function. I must use camera global position, new position, duration, I think. Okay. We load a new level. Perfect. What happens if we do it? Ah, nice. Let's make it a bit faster. Nice. So in the case, depending on the window manager, if the window manager is this is weird. Ah, yeah. Yeah, it works for continuous resizing and for discrete resize. Let's add transition to a nice no, this is a transition. Is. Let's use note. Too fast. Now. Nice. Twins are so easy in Godot 4. It's very interesting. Okay. Now, obviously, when we have in the future levels to the left, right, and down or up, the movement will be adjusted because perhaps the speed and other details will require other treatments, but for now it works. Okay. Well, that's enough for today. Thanks for watching, as always. Don't forget to share the video with people that could be interested in this kind of thing. Thanks.